All right, so welcome back to another live video. It'll take a little bit for it to pick up here, for people to start coming in, trickling in and out. Micah, welcome back. What's up? Spartan, what's up? Welcome back. Let me set up my laptop here so it's easy for me to see. Minhwan, what's up? Just trying to pull up my live video. Maybe it's not showing up yet. Micah, does it say waiting for Yoon? Hey bro, what's an SH? Serviceman. So SHs, they work with, I work with SHs a lot. Or I don't work with them. They are within supply department, which is the department that I'm in. They run the ship store, which has merchandise such as, clothing, tobacco, non-alcohol, food, Doritos, Cheetos, whatever the case may be, whatever the ship needs, in terms of snacks or even coffee. The baristas from Starbucks come to the ship, like a big carrier, and they have the SHs run it's like the cafe, what was it? The cafe corner. And the baristas from Starbucks teach the SHs how to make Starbucks coffee. And so, that's kind of cool. And SHs also cut hair. So I get my cut. I actually got this cut from the SHs the other day. SH1, a first class petty officer, actually cut my hair. So yeah, and it's totally free. It's the it's SH's job to cut people's hair or make sure the vending machines are in stock. Yeah, so servicemen, basically as it sounds, it is what they do. I have my water bottle here. So how's everyone's day? Ensign Gaming, what's up? Welcome back, all the way from Philippines. Thank you for always coming along, joining me. Ensign Gaming, how did you even find me? Like I look through the analytics sometimes, and I see people from different countries that find my video, but I never really understood like how people found my videos from other countries. So how do you remember, what video you saw, or what did you search to find my video? It's been a long day. Nothing too crazy, but let me adjust it here. Who was at the JT Suits chat yesterday, the live with Donnie and Nikki? I was there for a little bit momentarily. Juniper, what's up? Juniper, I think you've been around for a while, right? Like you've been with me for a while. Did you end up joining, or are you coming close to it? I gotta sneeze. Maybe it's like stuck in my nose. Andy, welcome back. Yeah, I know. Does the military accept people with irritable bowel syndrome? I'm not too sure. I'm sure at MEPS, that's where they do like your physical screening, health and physical screening. They'll probably be able to tell you if they accept you or not. I think last year I found you because I really wanted to be a U.S. Navy and finding some tips and tricks. Yeah, there's a lot of people from the Philippines that are in the Navy. Like one of my friends, she's been in this United States for like 2 years. So yeah, there's a lot of just fans. Yeah, Andy, I was in the chat for a little bit. They were just drinking nonstop. So, and then I left soon after. Any military YouTubers offer to collab with you? Yes. What was it? Johnny Five and JT reached out to me. But JT, I think whenever I go to California, I'll probably, hang out with him, make a video here and there. But no one else really. No one other than JT and Johnny 5. I ended up not joining, disappointing, but landed a real good job in my city, and I'm challenging myself in other ways. Awesome. How tall am I? I am 6 foot exact. I asked them how to be the best, how I can be the best cuck in the Navy. CUCK? What's that? Or is it like a different way of saying cook? Oh. Yeah, I mean, to me, so CS, culinary specialist? Do you have Twitter? I do not have Twitter. Uh, Thought about it. I used Twitter for, I think, like once to reach out to a millionaire, and then he tweeted back, and I talked to him on the phone. His name is Dave McGrogan. Have a favorite military meme? No, I mean my favorite military like saying. One of my friend posted on his Facebook is the don't you ever hate your life so much that you join the Navy just to hate it some more. And I think that's pretty funny. There are days like that. But no, I don't really have an active Twitter account. Harambe memes is dead. When did Harambe pass away anyway? Not gay if it's underway. My dad wants me to report how much I make in the military to him. Can you give me a suggestion on dealing with an Asian dad? How much you can make? They have the military pay chart on if you Google it, like how much do military get paid by rank. They have like a military pay chart. Right now, for me, E3 been in for round up 2 years. Sea duty, I get about $1,800 round down. So all figures aside, it's maybe more like round up 1,900. But if your dad's more about like, dealing with numbers, I feel like your dad would probably want you to go officers, I guess. But I don't know your situation particularly. How much I'd make in the military to him. Really, like in the military, like food is provided, a place to sleep is provided. So you don't really need anything else other than the minimum essentials. He wants to know how much is in my bank account at all times, and if I want to prevent that from happening. Meanwhile, if I don't, 나이가 어떻게 되세요? If you don't mind me asking. Because by the time like you're 18, you should start. Ideally, parents should give you more responsibility, unless you've proven to your parents, or some stuff happened that maybe that showed you that you were a little bit irresponsible. But But let me get back to that question. Let me answer other people. Welcome back, Ruth. Hey, when you join the Navy, how long will be away from home? How often you able to go home? So Ruth, some like for me, I'm pretty lucky where I'm in Virginia right now. I'm from Pennsylvania. So Joanna, what's up? So my family is from Pennsylvania. So, when I have like a 3 day weekend or maybe 4 days, or, I want to take 5 days of leave, I can just rent a car or take the train Amtrak and, head back up to Pennsylvania, stay there and head back down. So I'm pretty fortunate that, I live relatively close by, but there are people that, live in the other side of the state, other side of the country, like California or Texas and stuff like that. So they have a harder time, and they don't go home as often. So it's a little bit unfortunate for them. But you do get 2.5 days of leave per month. So round that up. A year, that's 30 days. So you can expect to see your family 30 days of the year. For me, I see them a little bit more because whenever there's like a 3 day weekend, I'll go home real quick and come back. So maybe I'll see them maybe 50 days of the year. So not a lot, but still enough that, I'm pretty fortunate. So you truly get to appreciate your family a lot more when you're not seeing them every day. Let me plug in a mouse here. What city and state am I in? I am in Virginia, and I am in Newport News. Kevin, what's up? Welcome back. Let's see. Hey, Yoon, do you have privacy in the stalls when you're on the ship? Yes. The stalls are not the cleanest things, but you do have some privacy. So Minhwan, if your dad is very strict on finances, one thing that you can tell him, I guess, and one thing you can tell him, right? Because I've been able to do it, and I'm Korean, and if your dad wants to talk to me, feel free to reach out, and if he wants to talk Korean, my Korean's not that great, but I can still talk Korean to some degree. I guess, if he's curious, right, he doesn't know anybody in the military. I've been able to save $1,000 a month, and I've been able to do that for 2 years now. Granted, I spent a lot of money when I went to Korea last year because of the military, while I was on a paid vacation from the military. So, right now I'm sitting on $20,000 because I've been able to be pretty good with my money. So, if you want to reference somebody, like, a Korean person, because, that's pretty close, you can reference me. And Minwon, if you haven't seen, I do have a video where I show you exactly how much I earned after taxes on 2016 pay, if you want to see that video. All right. Yes, I do mean 10K by 10K subscribers. Hey Yoon, how are you? I'm pretty good, Kevin. Can't complain. Happy. What time? I don't even have my watch. Oh, my watch is over there. Hey guys, did you eat dinner or breakfast already? I already ate dinner. I ate tortillas, rolls, pizza, while watching The Office, because my friend is addicted to The Office. And hey Yoon, I've been waiting to catch a live stream to ask a couple of questions. One is, do you always take ASVAB at MEPS when you go to join, or do you sometimes take it at another time? And to the best of my knowledge, you do take the ASVAB at MEPS, Military Entrance Processing Station, because they have because the ASVAB for the Navy, they have particular tests, like hearing test, and I think one of them is like depth perception or something. So they do have like special equipments over there, so it's easier for the recruiters and the military people to bring people to MEPS and test them there, because right after ASVAB, then you take a little bit of a break and then you roll into the next thing, whatever it may be, physical or whatever. Can I add you on League? Yes, Aaron, you can. My name is just Yoon. I was just playing like a couple hours ago. Had a similar situation with my dad. I just kind of stopped talking to him. So would the Navy pay for your trip back home? No, they would not. It would come out of your pocket. So anything that you do, the Navy only pays whatever the Navy tells you to do, right? So the Navy from boot camp, mayonnaise man, what's up? So from boot camp, from your home to boot camp, because the military is telling you to go, they'll pay for you. From boot camp to A school, because the military is telling you to go, they'll pay for you. From A school to your ultimate duty station, because the military is paying for you, telling you to do that, they will pay for you. But when from your ultimate duty station you want to go back home, now the military isn't telling you to do that, so they're not going to pay for you. So whatever you want to do, you're going to pay. Is in summary the best thing I guess to simplify it. Snazzy, welcome back. Sometimes you can take the ASVAB at your high school. Dinner, chicken, and rice. I failed the depth, and they gave me electrician mate. Do you have a stream? I do not have a Twitch account, if that's what you're referring to. And I'm not even good, so I'm just I think I was like a silver 4 or something. I'm just a noob. That dude, welcome back. Yoon, should I try to get a ship that's about to go on a deployment after A school? In my opinion, the best thing you could do, the best military career you could have is, you have a 4-year contract, right? I wish I could have a 4-year contract, going back in time, not a 5-year contract, but a 4-year contract. Oh, Steam. No, I don't have a Steam account. I'm looking from a distance. So have a 4-year contract. So you go to boot camp for 2 months and then A school for, let's say, I don't know, average out A school. Let's say, unless A school is 2 months, right? So boot camp for 2 months, A school for 2 months, that's 4 months. And then, if you have a choice, pick a shore command, right? Because you're not going to go anywhere. And once you get to the shore command, work on your college education right away. Let's say you don't have any credits. Within 2 years, you should have at least an associate's when you have your shore command. So you get college credits knocked out. So you're already 2.5 months in, 2 years and a half into the Navy with an associate's at least. And then, after 2 years, they rotate you to sea duty. So you have a 4-year contract, 2 years down in shore, and half from A school and boot camp. So the other 1.5 years, then you spend out at sea. So you get the best of every single experience. So in my opinion, if you have a choice, get a shore command first. And then, after 2 years, they're going to send you out to sea. So that's the best thing you can do. Let's see. How much money do you make from YouTube? I have several YouTube channels. One is all about watches. So when I used to work at a watch store, customers would always come to me because I used to fix and repair watches, minor problems. And customers would always come to me and say, hey, how do you fix this? It's not online. And, I took that opportunity and made it to a reality, set that up as a YouTube channel. And that YouTube channel actually gets more views and generates more income than this channel. So in total, both combined, maybe about $200 a month, which is not too bad, and which is not too bad at all. Is a Navy Corpsman a normal MOS or SO? Navy Corpsman is a normal rate. Yeah, a normal rate. Nothing special. Julia VC. The tests you take during boot camp, is it multiple choice or handwritten? Everything in the Navy is multiple choice, Julia. Except for boards, but they don't do that in boot camp. When you get to your, ultimate, the real Navy, when you're going up for awards or, Sailor of the Years, Sailor of the Quarter, Blue Jacket of the Quarter, there are different awards. You compete with other people, so you stand next to other people, and you're graded based on how well you speak to the question that was asked. So public speaking does play a role in the Navy. And thanks, I saw an article on Navy Times saying that some mates would not be able to go to A school immediately after boot camp starting this year. Have you ever seen or heard anything about that? I did. I feel like that's a lot. Some people will argue that makes sense because what happens sometimes, and I'm pretty much the case for this too. When there is a difference, okay? So first thing, let me kind of mark your question so I know where I left off. So first thing is you go to boot camp, then A school, right? And you're in A school and you're learning and reading everything about this, but A school is like a jam cram session. They're trying to put into your brain everything you need to know and then send you off. But what ended up happening was when people went to the fleet, went to the ships, they don't really know. Right? They don't really know. They've read this in textbooks, but they never really saw things hands-on, how it operates, how things actually work. So the Navy felt, hey, this is kind of useless, right? We're putting people right to A school, but then, they're not showing the results. So the Navy is putting in a little test, right? So they've been doing this one way. So from what I can see, they're trying to say, hey, let's try this other way where, right after boot camp, let's send them to their ultimate fleet and then let them work in their rate for a little bit, learn a little bit, and get some hands-on experience a little bit, and then send them to A school where, it all makes sense, right? When you're in actually working, you only see the, where you work, but after you experience it, you go to A school and now you can see the big picture. So, I guess they're trying to switch it up, test it, see what works, see what doesn't, see what rate works best with that, and see what rate doesn't work best with that. So I don't see any problem with them experimenting. What would you say is the best attractive feature of each specific branch? So So I'm trying to not skip a question. So if I get to if you think I'm missing your question, I'm not. I'm just going through every single question. So it might take a little bit for me to reach your question. So going to Mayonnaise Man's question. Best feature about each branch. Now, Marines, I would say like the camaraderie of like the gung ho, oorah or who, whatever they say, oorah, and they're very, I guess, tight knit, maybe, I don't know, but they are a smaller branch, and they're more of the ideal military lifestyle of alpha male dominant lifestyle. Army relatively the same, but in between, I would say Marines are more gung ho than Army, in my opinion. Right? I don't know if that's true, but Army, I would say I think it's from what I can see, it's much more diverse. Air Force, I think it's just much more depending on, but it's not as it's what attracts what's attracting what attracts me about the Air Force is that it's not as difficult as the other branches, from what I hear and from what I can see. Navy, I guess the opportunity to travel, but you don't really get to travel. You get to visit, and it's traveling is not always a guarantee. All right, so moving on. LOL replays. When I decided Air Force, I scheduled a meeting with him and never went to call him saying I couldn't make it. I'm professional, I know, right? Will he still want to meet me? This was a month ago. Yeah, why not? And if your Air Force recruiter doesn't like you, just go to another different Air Force recruiting station. Let's see. Okay, here I am. So you'll have to save money to be able to leave that the Navy pays you with. Yes, whatever the Navy pays you with, you take leave with that. What's that channel's name for my watch channel? Yoon Kim Project. And I have multiple different channels. I'm not going to go through with it, but that's one of them. And is that hard to do? No. I mean, I save $1,000 a month now. Granted, I don't have a vehicle, which is a big money factor that a lot of people pay. But even if I had a vehicle, I would just have to tone down on my monthly spendings, like food and stuff. But it's not hard to do to save $1,000 a month. Really, it's really not. Any tips on how not to be hungry in boot camp? You're really not gonna go hungry. You get fed three meals a day, and you can eat pretty full. You can eat full. They're not gonna starve you. They are not going to starve you. You can eat full. Some people can't even gain weight in boot camp. Really. Okay. They'll keep contacting you unless you contact them off. Basically, no snazzy. I mean, okay. Andy. Sorry, SOWY. Hold on, let me read this. Give me your money. That one time, man. Oh, in my opinion, there is just an extra harshness that lingers when an Asian person berates you. What's SOWY stands for? Let me see. Andy, thank you for the $5, but I feel bad. Like I don't really. I don't feel good when I get money like this. Oh, sorry. But thank you, Andy. Thank you. Let's see. I never went to the Air Force. Okay. That dude. Lowell Replay is really the Air Force recruiter. He's probably just like, whatever, if he comes back, he'll come back. Because he has so much things that he needs to do that if one person doesn't really contact him, it's less off his plate. The more time he has to organize whatever he needs to do first, and send other people, other airmen, future airmen to boot camp and process them out. And then if you come later on, I guess it benefits him. So don't feel bad, really. At the end of the day, they want you more than you want them. Okay, they need specialized, smart people in the military. Okay, and if you've qualified, then great, and then you join, and you'll enjoy your time. Big Tizzy, Lol, if you want to join, go to them, not wait for them. Can you explain the new uniforms coming this year, the blues to greens? So every few years they change it up. So before the NWUs, the blue ones, they had dungarees, which was like a professional wear Navy working uniform, where it was like a blue shirt and some slacks. And they changed it into the blue uniforms that you see, and then now they're rolling out with the new Type 3. So every few years they change it up and do different things. So it's nothing too crazy. There's a lot of high hopes for the new greens. In the blue uniforms, from my experience, they have like little shoulder pockets. That was pretty useless in the Army. I know they put their pens in it, but in the Navy they put their pens in the chest pockets. So hopefully the shoulder pockets are gone, and then more of like pen slipping in the Army uniform style. I hope they interpret that into the uniform. I think that's a lot better. So I hope the new uniform has some special features that the old uniform, the blue uniform, was kind of lacking in. Are the greens going to look like the Marines, or have a or totally different? I don't know. I never really examined the Marines uniform up too close. Um, but with the new uniforms, it definitely does look like you know, you kind of blend in better with the, if you stood next to other uniform services, because blue stands out much, uh, you know, bluer than the other uniforms, which are like camo and stuff like that. But you'll still be able to tell if somebody is, the Navy or Marines or Army. They have all different uniforms, so a different tint or a different design, so you can still tell the difference. Would it matter if I'm in the process of going to the Army, didn't sign anything yet, waiting for MEPS, but then I'll have to call Army recruiter and say I had a change of heart. So low replays, you're trying to go to the Air Force, right? Yeah, I mean, it kind of matters, but it doesn't matter if you're, let me see, where was your question? Okay, so let's say you already talked to an army recruiter first, and then your army recruiter was like, hey, cool, we'll go to MEPS this day, and you change your mind and you go to your Air Force recruiter. Then just talk to your Air Force recruiter and say, hey, I don't want to go into the Army. Can you talk to my Army recruiter and sort things out? And your Air Force recruiter, if he or she likes you, and you qualify for being a future airman, then yeah, your recruiter will definitely be more than happy to call your Army recruiter and say, hey, buzz off, basically. So, next question: did you know any reservists in boot camp or A school? No. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, I did. I have a couple of friends who were going to be in the reserves, and one of them is just chilling out, still doing his normal job, and the other one is like running for some type of office, or has aspirations to run for some type of office. No, I'm talking to Marine and Army recruiter right now. We'll also talk to Air Force and Navy. Once you make your decision to join a branch, I guess letting the other recruiter know. Yes. Andy, passing your question with the donated one that I already read. Let's see. Can you skip meals at boot camp if you want to lose weight? It's not advised, because physical activity. There are a lot of physical activities, and if you purposely skip meals, then you're going to get lightheaded, and you're definitely going to feel the pain. But there's a big salad bar. You can get a lot of salad and at least eat something. So if you read like all the like weight loss tips, skipping meals is never great. Always eat something. I don't want resentment linger. That's my brother's recruiter. No. Really, it doesn't really matter if it's like your brother's recruiter. At the end of the day, your recruiter doesn't really care, because at the end of the day, he's here to do his job and then go home to see his family. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if your recruiter would more appreciate it if you came up front like, hey, I don't want to do this or do this, because if you're trying to avoid him and not talk to him, you're kind of like wasting his time in a sense. But so it's easy, it's better for you to just tell him as it is and say, hey, let's move on, find somebody else. All right, let's see. So if I haven't gotten your question yet, I'm not skipping any. I'm just trying to read every single question and go down here. So if I haven't got your question, don't be alarmed. The Army has shoulder pockets. Yes, sir. Thank you for your service. Krusty Krab, thank you. My chat is not as big as like JT's, where hundreds of people are text messaging me, so I can still read some questions and go one by one here. Don't tell your recruiter. Okay. They can't force you to do anything. Yes, they cannot. If I got the opportunity to go to college before the Navy, would you recommend it? Kane Panda, if you are interested in going to the military, joining the military, I would always say get your degree first and be an officer, because you get paid more, and in my opinion, you have a better experience in the Navy as an officer than the Navy, than the enlisted side, which I'm trying to be an officer using the State 21 program. Sooner Gymnast, welcome back. Yoon, are you able to go for your second class swim qual and boot camp? There are 3 different qualifications you can get in boot camp. You have to do them back to back. I forgot exactly what the second qual was, but oh yeah, the second qual was okay. So there is 4 different types of swim you can do. You know, the elementary backstroke, side stroke, breaststroke, and I forgot the 4th one. I always forget the 4th one. To qualify for that, you first do your normal, swim across, 100 yards pool or whatever, and then you do the other 4 back to back, nonstop. When did I grow the mustache? It took a while. It took like a month, but I got it. It looks all right. It looks all right, Jay. What was Hell Week? Dang it. I hate how it keeps on skipping questions here. What was Hell Week for you? I'm lost. It's not nothing crazy. It's not buds, right? It's not the Navy SEAL training Hell Week. In the boot camp enlisted Hell Week, it's more of tests, like gun handling tests, written tests, physical tests. So nothing too crazy, just a bunch of minor tests that you had to do. How long was it when you first got to the fleet? September is my 2 years on my ship. Buds training, I believe. Could you talk about the GM rate, gunner's mate rate? I don't know too much about them. I know they count the ammo and do something with firing guns, but I don't know really too much about them. Snazzy, thanks for the book you recommended me to read, Mr. San Miguel. I hope I said that name right. What book did I recommend? I have a lot of book recommendation videos and people asking me which books to is this a Q&A? Yes, it is, Jay. A lot of people ask me what books they should read. When will you receive your cell phone after boot camp? Damien Faulkner. So if your family is coming to see you, so what I did with my parents is when you're in boot camp in recruit training command, you cannot have your own cell phone, right? So my parents during graduation, they came, saw me. I told them, hey, bring my cell phone and bring some clothes and some stuff that I can wear. So as I was flying out to A school the next day, I met them at the airport and they gave me my stuff and, I was on my way. So that's one thing that you can do. If you bring your cell phone to recruit training command, if you get caught, you might get in some serious trouble, whether it's, starting boot camp all over again or, possibly getting kicked out maybe. What is the daily physical training like? Nothing too crazy. You have your warm up, you have your cool down. You do your push-ups, sit-ups, run, just normal calisthenics workouts. Let's see. When did he grow the mustache? Looks great, bro. Thank you, Jay. Let's see. Are you required at least one deployment on a ship? No, there are plenty of people that have never been deployed, that have even never been on a ship. Donnie, I don't think, Donnie DWK videos, I don't think he's ever been deployed. He's been for, I think, like 4 years at least. and he re-enlisted. So there are people that join and never go on a deployment. But at some point you're going to, if you choose to make it your career. Philly Brown, what's the rate? I am a logistics specialist, LS. What is skills you use in the outside world that you learned? Dang it, this that you learned from your current job. So as a logistics specialist, one thing that I learned. So in the Navy, one thing they're very, very good at is management. They're very, very good at management, like, having meetings every single morning, telling people, hey, this is what's going on, this is what needs to be done, and let's do it. And after that, you move on to the next task and the next task. So in terms of management skills, uh, and being able to lead people, you learn that a lot when you are in the military, especially as you start to move up in ranks. And it helps if you read on your own, you do your due diligence, and study up, and incorporate what you learn, and apply that into the military. Know anything about IT rates? I do not. One thing I do know is one of my friends, she came into the Navy. I think IT rates is like a 9 months A school, and then right after that, they have a month of C school, so that's 10 months knocked down already. I don't know if they have a 4-year contract or a 6-year contract, but if they have a 4-year contract, man, that's about a year off of your contract already, because boot camp for 2 months, and A school and C school for 10 months, so that's a year already. So if you have a 6-year contract, so you basically work for 5 years. If you have a 4-year contract, you're basically in it for 3 years. So can't go wrong with that. What is BUDS? BUDS is for Navy SEALs training. Thanks. Do you have a better chance of going somewhere where you speak the language fluently? No. I could have went to Korea, but I didn't. I mean, I speak Korean pretty well. How long is A school and C school for Island Blood? What rate? If you want to know like how long your A school is and C school is, you can kind of Google that. I don't know everything, every single rate. How long there that is. It's just easier if you just Google it, and you'll be able to find the answer somewhere. What kind of stuff do you do in LSA school? A lot of textbook. Just literally, um, there's a textbook, there's also the computer system where you go through the NKOs, Navy Knowledge Online, and it's like a textbook online format. It's like going to an online school. And then you go through every single one with your instructor. You ask questions. There you take tests after every chapter. So nothing too crazy, nothing too and a lot of times people who are in LSA school, and they go to the fleet, they don't really retain anything, and they don't really know what's going on when you get to the ship, because what you do in the ship and what you read about in the textbook is two totally different things. Is it possible to rank up in boot camp? My recruiter said if I get 2 people to join, I can go up a pay grade. So Damien Faulkner, I believe if you get 2 people, you can go become an E3. But yes, in boot camp, you can get advanced 2 ranks. The first thing you can do is pass your DEP test, delayed entry program test. So your recruiter, if you are in DEP, should have gave you a DEP packet, which has the list of like the chain of commands, the different the logos and stuff, and the types of ships and aircrafts. So your recruiter should have given you that, and you study that from front to back and know everything in it. And when you get to boot camp, the first week you get tested on that, and if you passed it, you from E1 you become E2. And when you are in boot camp, if you have a specific role, because by the end of boot camp they promote 10% of the division. So let's say there's 100 people, 10 people will be promoted to the next level. So from E1 to E2 you pass the death test, then you become E2. From E2 to E3 you assume the role of, let's say, RPOC, AROC, or yeoman, or head PO, forward hold PO, starboard watch, port watch, bunch of different rates, bunch of different words, but it's in my other videos. Then you can come out of boot camp as E3. Let's see. Do LSs have a decent advancement rate? Yes, they do. Compared to some of these other rates, some rates are extremely good. Like from like OSs have like 70% advancement, whereas LSs have 20% advancement. But there are people with next to no advancements, like to the degree of 1% a year, which is a little bit extreme. How is Navy Chow? Mike, hello, welcome to the live stream. The Navy Chow, it depends. The naval base chow halls are usually better than the ship chow halls. The ship chow halls, vegetables aren't as fresh as Navy chow halls, and CSs do their best, but sometimes CSs are overworked and are in the not care attitude, and sometimes the food isn't as great as it could be, but can't complain. Let's see. Thanks, man. Keep up the good vids. Thank you, Island Blood. Snatch Jesus says, if I re-enlist, I'm going Marines. Right now, if I commission, then Air Force. Do you know anyone who is YN rate or how it is? I do know some YNs. They help. So whether it's the command master chief or some officers, they handle the paperwork. I don't know exactly in detail what they do, but they manage anywhere from managing the schedules to different paperworks, to paperworks for different divisions, making sure everyone's accounted for in the morning, the muster sheets. YNs do several different things, array of different things. I don't know exactly everything, but YNs are pretty interesting desk job rate. I wish I looked more into it. Have you been on a ship, and if so, which ones? I have. I am currently on board the USS Abraham Lincoln. I've also been on the George Washington carrier. I've also been on the Ike. I've also been on what else have I been on? I've been on, I think, like in total 4 ships. How long will you stay in the Navy? My current contract is 5 years. So technically I'll end at 2020, but if I do get picked up for officer, then I'll be finished with the Navy around 31 years of age. Have you been into an RB base? If yes, how's the food? I have not been to an RB base. What are some exercises to do before boot camp? Anything calisthenics. Nothing weight, just calisthenics, just straight push-ups. The best thing you can do is just straight push-ups, straight sit-ups, and straight running. Really the best thing you can do. And you can change it up, do Spider-Man push-ups, and do different variety of push-ups, archer push-ups, or they have a bunch of different push-ups out there. But anything calisthenics, you can't go wrong. You're on a ship right now? No, I'm in my friend's house. Where do most MAs get stationed after A school? Zeno asks. It depends on what the Navy needs. Some people go overseas. I know I've heard a lot of MAs go to Bahrain. Some MAs go to a ship right away because ship needs security and MAs do security. 한국말 할 수 있습니다. 한국말 말하고. Oh my gosh, my muscle is twitching on my leg. I think it's because I was sitting down funny. Anybody watch the Attack on Titans today, the new episode, and also the Hero No Academy? I'm an anime watcher too. Do you think the Navy will make a person depressed or happier? Uh, Both, Ruth. Really, honestly, both. Some people, they come into the Navy and it's not for them, and they leave and leave in a bunch of different ways, whether it's failing the PRT physical test, or saying, "Hey, I can't do this anymore. I want out." Some people a lot happier, like me. If I get out, by the time I get out, I'll be a lot happier with my choices that I made of being in the Navy, because I've learned a lot and I've accomplished a lot, and I'm accomplishing a lot while I am in the Navy. And this was an experience that I definitely needed for me to kind of analyze what I was doing with my life, and kind of take this time to really learn and educate myself and reprogram myself and find out what I want to do with the next 5 years. So this is a decent 5 years to spend while I am in the Navy. Do you think it's best to wait to talk to a recruiter when you are for sure ready to join? Annie, uh, I don't think I don't think it matters. I mean, when you go talk to your recruiter is probably going to try to sway you, and you might lean more towards joining the military. But in my best opinion, if you don't know what you want to do for the next 5 years, then just try the military. And if when you are in the military and you don't like it, there are still opportunities and advantages uh, for you to grow as a person, as an individual. So when you are in the military, learn as much as you can about yourself, educate yourself, and improve yourself, and don't don't spend your next 5 like you did your last 5, as Jim Rohn says. Don't let your next 5 be your last 5. Improve, improve, improve. What rank am I? I am E3, LSSN. Let's see, please. Did you do JROTC when you were in high school? I did not. I have seen them. As an LS, have you ever been allowed on the flight deck? Yes, some LSs do work on the flight deck, and I will also work on the flight deck. I did get recently, I think about 2 weeks ago, flight deck aircraft fighting, where there's a firefighting school within somewhere in the Navy. I went to the naval base, and they had a firefighting school, a whole facility designated to ship fires, if there's a fire within the ship, and fire within, if there's an aircraft, they have a little place and you take out the fire. I've gotten that training, so I'm kind of good to go. Don't spoil on Attack on Titans. I'm not going to spoil anything. Although I read the manga. Thoughts on GM rate? Leo asks. I don't know too much about them. I know they handle guns, and they get to shoot and count ammo, but that's as much as I know about it. Harambe asks, what's the best way to get out of the Navy while in 4 years, like while you're still serving? Harambe, obviously, getting honorable discharge, and also the best, if you have a choice, get a short command first. So when you come into the Navy, you go to your boot camp first for two months, and your A school for however long it is, depending on your rate. For example, let's say 2 months for logistics specialist. If you have the choice, pick a short command first. I said this before previously in this video, because your short command is going to be for 2 years. So you spent 4 months in the Navy, for boot camp and A school, and your next 2 in the short command. And when you are in the short command, just make sure you get your college credits in, tuition assistance, because school is free. School is paid for by the military. So at least get an associate's within 2 years, and then you spend the remaining a year and 8 months out at sea, because after 2 years they put you in a ship to go out at sea, or have some type of sea duty. So I think that's the best way you can spend your short 4-year Navy career if you have the opportunity. What percentage of sailors regret joining? I don't know. They never really have a statistics, but I don't think it's so much as sailors regret joining. Sailors, I mean, at least I can only speak for myself. At times, it does get frustrating. that, and there are a lot of things that don't. At times, it gets frustrating, but at the end of the day, once we appreciate the opportunities that the Navy offers, the different experience, the different educational opportunities, the amount of money that we get. But there are sailors who regret joining and get out as soon as they can. Whether it's failing the physical readiness test twice within 3 years, and they get sent home packing. But those who are remaining, the sailors who are remaining, are the ones that are enjoying the Navy life. So I don't know, but not a lot, if I can kind of guess. Jimmy, welcome back. Do you know anyone who comes to work every day regretting their decision more than just occasionally getting irritated? Yeah, I mean, there are people who get frustrated with who they work with. People, they don't work or they don't want to be in the Navy anymore. They skate off, they hide, don't do the work, avoid doing the work. And then, other people within the same division or the same team have to pick up for their work, and they get irritated because some people are not working. And certainly I've had to carry other people's weight on my back. But either they get out or they realize later on they actually need to do the work. But yeah, I mean, if they really regret it, they find a way to get out and they get out. So it's not a difficult thing to do, really. Any tips on how to do better on the WK section of the ASVAB? I'm not exactly too sure what the WK section is on the ASVAB. How was battleships in boot camp? Battle stations, I can't really talk about. I signed a page 13 saying I can't talk about battle stations, so I can't talk about that. Is that a window next to you, and can we see out of it? There is a window next to me, but it's dark and you can't see anything out of it. Yoon, I served on SS Stutter CVN 69. From one seaman to another, I want to say I respect you. If you were my dad, I wouldn't be in prison right now. Kappa, you say the craziest thing. I actually saw the Ike the other day, CVN 69, the Ike. Or is it the Ike or is it the Roosevelt? Anyway, yeah, I saw CVN 69 on the sea the other day. Captain Boo, shave your mustache. I'm not going to shave my mustache. I like my mustache. J Park, when are you going to have lunch with me? Whenever I go back to Pennsylvania. Which is in June, by the way. June. I'll let you know. Mid-June, my Andrea gets married, and I'll be home for that week. Never shave the legendary stash. You know what we should do? Like I should tell JT, Donnie, Nikki, and every military YouTuber to grow out your mustache. Does your chain of command like your YouTube videos? They know I make YouTube videos. I don't think like the officers or captains they know, but the big Navy itself, like the social media divisions and stuff that monitors these type of things, they know they definitely know that I'm around. Like one of the other YouTubers the other day, JT Suits, Navy Boot Camp sent him an email saying like, hey, take this video down. So they know that we exist. But as long as we don't cross the line, it's okay. Just asking what to study to ace the WK section of the ASVAB. Since I know you're always trying to learn, if you listen to podcasts, I highly recommend Jocko Podcast, as well as Jocko Books, Extreme Ownership, Great Lessons in Leadership and Life, Word Knowledge. Word Knowledge, so I mean, I don't know exactly what's going to be, I don't really remember what that section is, but I guess if you get an ASVAB training, like study guide, like study textbook, like they have for ASVAB. I mean SAT. Just study that and make sure you pass. And if you need, get a tutor and get tutored, and you should be pretty good. A lot of people today compared to yesterday. Yesterday, Friday night, I guess people were doing something else. So in and out, people, it's over 200 people came in and out today. Let's see. Hey, would you be able to show us? Oh, no, I already went through it. Oh, outside the window. I mean, if you want to, I guess. But you can't really see anything. Let's see if I can turn around. So this is my thing that I'm looking at. I'm just looking at everyone's question because so this is the PPV. It's a facility where there's a bunch of houses like this all around this facility. So that's the setup. Yoon, how come I'm not a grandmaster in Overwatch? Kappa, because you are a noob, just like me in League of Legends. That will be sick. What will be sick? In LSA school, is LSA school in Cali? No, it is in sexy Meridian, Mississippi. My ship LHD-8 Macon Island is being dry docked for 2 years. Awesome. I wish I was in there. How do I go about applying for barracks room? I'm a single sailor, E1, of a stuck of an one stuck on the ship. I've heard various answers. You would talk to your chief and try to find out, how the process is. If I want to get a barracks within Norfolk Naval Base, I would talk to my chief, and my chief would help me. So you would start right there. Talk to your first class petty officer, and then talk to your chief. So that's how you would start, Jesse. Ruth asks, so is there a break from the Navy? How is it with high school? Or is it just like 30 days for the year? So yeah, you can take any amount of leave you want. So mid-June, I'm going to my cousin's wedding. So I'm taking 5 days off of the, you can have 60 days stacked up. Like last year, I took 29 days and went to Korea. Last year, I went to 29 days to Korea, and I spent in Korea about 24 days, and then came back home, rested for a couple of days. So, as long as your ship allows it, you can use as much leave as you want, as long as you have that balance. What was the hardest thing you had to adjust to when you went to boot camp? Sharing the shower, really, where you're in a small, maybe like 20 by 20 square space with 20 shower heads, and you're in there with like 20 guys showering right next to each other, not touching, right? There's still enough space where we're not touching each other, and there's always like people stand by waiting to get into a shower. That's a little bit uncomfortable, but everyone just kind of keeps their eyes above, on the head level. When people start looking down, there's kind of something wrong with that, but not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just you know what I'm trying to say. But that's one of the hardest things I had to adjust to, just making sure that it's a normal thing to shower with 19 other naked men. Okay. I'm not sure if I've asked this before, but have you ever considered becoming a Navy SEAL? Yes, I have. Ref, to answer your question, I did try. I watched a bunch of American Sniper and Lone Survivor movies, and I was like, let me try this thing. If I don't make it, I don't make it. I don't care. So I tried it, didn't make it, didn't care. Let's see. You play League of Legends, Yoon? Yes, I do. I'm a mid laner. I try to be. My name on League is same as my YouTube name, just Yoon. I'm a silver 4, proud silver 4. He's the only Korean in silver. You're right. I probably am. Zeno, do you remember what you scored on the AFQT? And do you have the study, the other sections? I don't know what the AFQT is. Is that the Air Force? Is that for the Air Force? Okay, thanks, guys. Are female sailors stuck up because so many men want to date them? Actually, some are. Some actually are. Because the guy to female ratio is like 1 to 10. So it's like more males and less females, and if more females have a choice, and I've seen a lot of stuck up females. But there are very like humble ones, very nice ones. Not to say everyone is, but I was in silver, now I'm unranked. I was silver 2. Add me. I would love to play. Armed Forces qualification test. Oh, ASVAB. ASVAB. Yeah, I think I got like 75 or 65, something like that in the ASVAB. You are gay for showering with other guys in boot camp. It would, if I mean, I wouldn't say that. I always kept my eyes above, didn't do anything crazy. But he's kidding anyway. Don't worry about it. Jimmy, all right, I look forward to it. Probably play with you tomorrow or later tonight. I don't know. How long do you have to be in the Navy to apply to go to Buds? You can apply to Buds. You can apply to Buds, right away, like right now, if you want to join. But if you want to, when you go enlisted first, then you are enlisted for 2 years, and then after that, you can apply to go to Buds. Going through boot camp, was it stressful? Did you find yourself regretting your decision? Do you regret your decision now? So going through boot camp, was it stressful? No. Boot camp was for me relatively easy. Now it's not easy for everybody because everybody has different tolerance to stress. For me, I was a pretty solid person where I've dealt with difficult situations before. Now the one thing with boot camp is you might go tired every single day because 16 hours of the day you are up, and you only give it a lot of time of 8 hours a day. And it's not like you sleep right away for the full 8 hours, right? At 10 o'clock, you talk to your friends, or finish some uncared business, and so you might only get like 6 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep each day. Not being able to sleep whenever I want was kind of stressful, I guess I could say. Do I regret my decision to join? No. It's difficult, I can't wait to get out, but this is exactly where I need to be to find myself and figure out what I want to do with my life, and learn and everything I can, and improve myself so I can make my next 5 years be better than my last 5 years. All right, guys. So in about 13 minutes, I'm going to about 5 minutes. All right, 13 minutes. I'm gonna call it a day, and close it out here. So I'm gonna try to catch up to the questions as much as I can. So let's see. Yoon, should I ask a porn star to the military ball when I join? Why not? So, do you want to become a Navy SEAL? No, I can't handle it. There's no way I'm able to handle that mentally and physically. I'm not that. I'm not that tough like they are. Do I like K-pop? I listen to some K-pop. And nice recruiter recommended me. Then, but that's crazy that you tried Buds. Oh, I didn't try Buds. I tried for the PST, physical screening test. PST is like the filtering system where it's a high physical standard. If you meet that, then you go to boot camp, and then from boot camp you go to pre-buds, and then from pre-buds, if you make it through, you go to buds. So I was on stage 1, and I tried it, didn't work. I was like, all right, I'm not doing this. Considering to go into the Navy, level 6 on law. Yeah, I play Lux a lot. You talk to a recruiter and tell him your goals. Okay. I will like to join the NYPD after the Navy. Awesome. How far did you make it into becoming a SEAL? So I was on the first stage, PFC, and I didn't even pass that. How long was it from the time you first talked to a recruiter to the time you went to boot camp? How long was what, Anne? I can't remember every single question. Getting bombarded with questions here. What are some tips for staying away in boot camp? The best thing is just stand up and standing up, really. You can't fall asleep standing up. Oh, I'm actually kind of caught up to the questions. Let's see. Do you get a break after boot camp or just go to A school? You just go to A school right away. Yeah, from after A school, you can request to use the amount of leave days that you have, and then go home. Or depending on your A school, how long it is, you can take leaves in between. Yeah, depends on your A school. I don't think you're able to take leaves in between because you will be missing out on school. But when there's like a 3-day weekend or 4-day 96-hour liberty, you can probably go home and talk to your family. If you are thinking of taking the PST, get ready for a lot of fatigue after the 500 swim. Jimmy, that's exactly what happened to me. I did my 500-yard swim. So for 500 yards, to get an idea, it's if you go to any normal swimming pool like LA Fitness or YMCA, that whole long distance, that's 50 yards. So you do that or is that 25 yards? Was that 25 yards or 50 yards? It's been 2 years. So I think that's 25 yards actually. So you do a 1, that's 50, and then you do that 10 times over. I was just dead. After that, I was like, oh, I'm barely making it. I finished my 500-yard swim in like 16 minutes, and my required time was like 12 minutes or something like that. And yeah, like right after that, we went outside, had to do push-ups right away. No, sit-ups first, then push-ups, and then pull-ups. I think it was in that order. Or did we do the pull-ups first? I don't know. It's been 2 years. But yeah, the chief that was instructing the place was a Navy SEAL chief, and he was yelling and telling me stuff. But yeah, it was pretty fun. Fun to try out, not to be in it. How long was I in the DEP program? For about 7 months. And well, not boot camp because you were in the DEP, but how long from the first time you decided you wanted to join did it take you to get to MEPS? And holy crap, Daniel. Thank you. Let me just finish Anne's question first before I get to you, Daniel. Did it take you to get to MEPS and officially be enlisted? So I decided I wanted to join. I think it was November, and then I talked to a recruiter around right around December, I went to MEPS, did my ASVAB and everything, and I said, hey, I want to leave around June, and they said, hey, June 2nd's open, you can go then, and I said, okay, so it's relatively quick process. If you want to join really fast, maybe you'll from the day you sign in and do everything, maybe about 3 months. But so at minimum 3 months, some people leave a little bit faster. But for me, I decided I wanted to have solid 6 months for me to, organize everything, give my car to my dad, and finish work and work out a lot, make myself mentally and physically prepared for boot camp, and do a lot of that stuff. So, and yes, I hope that answers your question. So, Daniel, thank you for your $10. Uh, I don't know if I'm deserving of that, but thank you. Okay. I really enjoy your channel. I'm sure you will be very successful no matter what your path in life, inside or outside of the Navy. Consider becoming, getting a commission. You will do well. Thank you, Daniel. I am trying to do the Say 21 program. Right now, I'm working on building my resume, making sure I'm the top-notch sailor within my ship. So some of the things that I'm doing is I am the ACFL Assistant Command Fitness Leader, helping people with fitness. Have a good night, Ruth. And I'm also honor guard, so people who twirl the rifles and hold the flags in the ceremony. And I'm also the MWR treasurer, moral welfare recreation. So planning fun events like holiday parties and stuff. So those three I stopped at, and then starting Monday, this upcoming Monday, next week, I'm also taking college classes. So with those four, it should make me about top notch, and I've gotten 2 awards and 2 recognitions. So a lot of higher chain of command people really like me. So I have a lot of good momentum built up for me right now. So I'm hoping all that helps for me to get Junior Sailor of the Quarter or Blue Jacket of the Quarter, depending on if I pick rank, and also pick that momentum up and continue and become the Blue Jacket of the Year or Sailor of the Year, and then apply for my officer's package. I think that's pretty solid. Mr. Mike, thank you for your money. Like I said, I'm not too sure if I'm deserving of when people donate like this. I'm just more appreciative of the attention that people care to listen to what I have to say and come to me to just interact and talk. So, but thank you very much. Okay, going back to the questions. Andy, he beat your record. Well, Andy, overall, you did do more. Okay, so Rev 762, Yoon, what advice would you have for someone who's still in high school but is looking to become a Navy SEAL and pass the PST, at least from what you experienced? So my advice, if you really want to be, in the Navy, as a Navy SEAL, I would say, do NJROTC if your high school provides that. And, any physical activities you can get involved in, like CrossFit training. And if you know any, Marines or Army who are like your friends, just physically train with them, right? Make sure you're physically prepared. Make sure you can swim. Make sure you can do at least 12 pull-ups, I think. Yeah, I think about 12 pull-ups, but I think to be competitive, you need to do about 20 pull-ups. Yeah, just physically a lot of activities. Now, that doesn't mean your education is not important, because for the ASVAB score, I think you need about 85 or 80 on your ASVAB to qualify for it. So make sure you're studying really well in school. Everything counts. Like they ask you your high school, GPA, even right now. Like sometimes my higher ups will say, "Hey, what was your high school GPA or your college GPA?" So you might think, "Oh, high school doesn't really matter. What I'm learning here doesn't apply in real life," but everything does. Like science, math, reading, English, everything does follow. So for those of you who are in high school, make sure, if you're serious about joining the military, learn as much as you can. Make sure, you're top notch. Study as long as you need to get, the top grades, because everything does follow. And he asks, did you sell your car? I did not. I gave it to my dad. I was paying $225 a month for it, and I bought it brand new back in 2012, and I gave it to my dad, and I said, hey, you can have this, just pay the rest of it. Setting my crap Mac up. Then I'll add you, Yoon. Just so you know, my name and the league is Vapor Strato. Let me write that down somewhere. It's a pen. Vapor Strato. Okay. Or VP Strato. What? How do you forget? Does being in the military affect your social life, girls, partying, etc.? No. Unless you go on deployment, you'll be out there for 9 months. But, my friend, who lives here has parties all the time on the weekends, right? So, most people party on the weekends. What was your job selection at MEPS like? I could do any job that I could apply for any job that I want with my respective ASVAB score. But coming in, I chose logistics specialist, so that's exactly what I got. So my recruiter didn't really give me the option of hey, what do you want? And I just said, hey, I just want LS, so he gave it to me. What aspects of your job require you to wear a hard hat? I saw your picture on Instagram. So if you are working in the flight deck, making sure your head is covered, or if I am driving a forklift, I have a hard hat. Or if your ship is getting repaired, if you're in the dry docks where it's a ship repairing facility, they require you to wear a hard hat. So a lot of the times now, that's how I spent over a year and a half wearing hard hats. But now I'll wear my hard hat sometimes if I drive the forklift. But usually I just wear my ball cap, command ball cap, or the 8-point cover with the NWU's Navy working uniform. Donate all the money. What? How do you forget? Unionism requires $2. No. Your attention is plenty enough for me. Or, if you want to go a step further, just spread the word of mouth. This video is the road to 10K. 10K subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. Yoon, have you considered the Naval Academy? Yes, but I am over the age. You have to be, I think, under 21. 21 and under to apply for Naval Academy. So I'm 23, going to be pushing for 24. So I'm way past the minimum requirement. My name is VP Strato. Dang it, Jimmy. Oh, okay. Bike Race King, if you give me a shout out, I will sub. Here's your shout out, Bike Race King. I plan on going to boot camp. So just a quick question. How many people subscribed by watching my live videos, or subscribed recently, less than a month? I'm just curious to know here. I plan on going into boot camp this month, upcoming August. Any tips to get ahead? Jonathan, if you want to be an AROC, like for example, let's say you're coming in as E1, right? If you want to get ahead, AROC does a lot of cadences, right? You know, when you're in boot camp, there's an AROC and RPOC. RPOC is, so imagine this is the, division, right? Okay, 3 rows of people, right? The RPOC stands here, and the AROC I think stands here or in the back. I forgot. No, I think it is in the back actually. RPOC is over here. AROC is over here. AROC does the cadences, making sure everybody is on the right step. Left, right. So one thing that you can do if you want to practice is your cadences, right? Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and knowing like different cadences, like different songs. So I like doing that kind of stuff. So as an ACFL, I do cadences sometimes for my department, supply department. So if you look up on YouTube, Navy cadences, there's a bunch of different Navy cadences that you can learn and try to memorize. And when you are in boot camp, you can apply that, and your recruiters, recruit division commanders might be impressed. And that's one way to get ahead. What was your ASVAB score? I think my ASVAB score was like 65 or 75. Something with a 5 at the end. I forgot exactly if it was a 6 or a 7. What is my favorite uniform? Navy working uniform. It's the most comfortable. What I think looks the best is the dress blues. So you know how like when you think of a sailor, they wear all white, but that's only during the summertime. When they wear all blue, not all blue, they wear the blue uniform and the white cover. That's during the winter time or the fall time when it's colder weather. That's where they wear that uniform. So my favorite uniform, just normal every day, is the NWU's. Dressing up occasion, I'd say it's the dress blues. Dress whites, it's cool and all white, but it gets so uncomfortable to manage and take care of, because a single drop of something, a drink or whatever, ruins that whole uniform, because you have to be all white and you get inspected, right? So if you have like a little tomato sauce on the side, they'll say, hey, take that off, get it replaced. And that's like $22 on the uniform to get a shirt replaced. So it gets pretty annoying to take care of. I subscribed in April. All right, guys. So I went over my 15-minute mark, but I'll be closing it out here soon. Let me just answer these last few questions here. Ensign Game asks, do you earn money now here on YouTube? Yes, I do earn money on YouTube. I have several different YouTube channels, and altogether collectively they generate right about $200 a month. Sub last month, JT brought up your content on my YouTube videos. Sub last month, JT Suits brought up your content. So he said some of my Andy, he like mentioned some of my videos on his videos. I didn't know he did that. Well, I do that to him, so I guess he probably saw that and said it. What do you know about being a corpsman? Yeah, corpsmen, they get basic training, for human body, making sure, you can put a needle in right. I've had bad experiences with corpsmen. I don't entirely trust the corpsmen all too much. A lot of times I trust the officers a lot more, because there's officer nurses, officer doctors that come into the Navy as officers to treat people. Corpsmen, I'm sure they try their best and do the best that they can, but when it comes to if you're sick or not, you really don't want to get an advice from a corpsman. Get an advice from a doctor or some medical officer. But even then, sometimes you can't trust full-heartedly what they say. Um, yeah, and there have been plenty of experience examples that I can mention, but yeah. But corpsmen, yeah, they're pretty good rate. They're a lot of hands-on. Um, Definitely, if you're interested in the medical field, try out for corpsman, get a basic knowledge, and then once you finish, try to become a doctor or whatever the case may be. Anthony Posada, similar. Would it be more advanced than EMT? Like the civilian EMT, I would say civilian EMT is much more advanced from what I can see. Are there certain dates out of the year that people are shipped out to basic, or does it vary? ABUF. So every week there's 1,000 people that graduate that are put into boot camp every week, and by the end of the week, there's always people graduating boot camp. So there's never really a moment, a dull moment, or maybe they'll skip a week or two, but people always come in and people always go out graduating. Hey, Yoon, if I dropped from SEALs, do you get option to get out, or do you regret joining? No, if you drop out from SEALs, like buds training or pre-buds, or any step along the way, you get just re-rated into something else, and you serve out your contract. Let's say you signed up for 5 years, and you're into this bud process, and if you're in buds and you drop out, then you get re-rated into a lot of people who've tried for special warfare programs, and along the way they give up and drop out. They become CSs, culinary specialists. All right, guys. So I'm gonna close it out here. Talk to my girlfriend. I've been ignoring her a lot. I feel bad. So thank you for hanging out with me today, and thank you for all your donations. For people who have donated, I do really truly appreciate that. Thank you for making your time and Gaming all the way from the Philippines. Zeno, have a good night. Have a good night. Jimmy, Rich, Andy, Anthony, Abuff, anybody who's still around. All right, guys. So have a good night, and I hope you have a great Navy day. See ya, Ann.